So a couple days back, I started reading this manhwa called Solo Leveling, right? And I finished it in 2 days, 110 chapters in 2 days. The truth is, I never felt so addicted to reading a manhwa before. You see, some things that usually keep me engaged with the manhwa are the following: the art style, the storyline, and the characters. These three elements can single-handedly either carry a manhwa out of a dark place or leave it there to die. There have been many manhwa that I've read where in some parts of the story the plot lacks, and yet it's made up for by the beautiful art itself and engaging characters. Sometimes the art isn't so appealing, yet the storyline makes up for that. Sometimes the characters aren't so intriguing, but the other aspects make up for it, and vice versa. But what if I told you there's a manhwa out there that uses all three of these core elements to a max level? A manhwa that follows the story of a young boy by the name of Sung Jin-woo, sorry if I mispronounced that, on his quest to becoming a stronger hunter. Now, before I jump into the video itself, I want to clarify that this video will be broken down into two parts. The first half will be more or less convincing new readers as to why you need to read Solo Leveling, and the second half will be more for people who have already read it, just going over some things I truly enjoyed about it and explaining the literary mechanics behind it in detail. The time skip will be in the pinned comment. With that being said, if you haven't read Solo Leveling, go read it. I mean, there really isn't much I can say. You need convincing? Well, the storyline follows what happens to be the weakest hunter in the entire anime. Hunter's main goal being to slay monsters inside guilds, or dungeons. At first, it really just seemed like a generic webtoon. Monsters, dungeons, hunters, blah blah blah. But as I started reading this, it didn't take me long to realize that this was far from generic. In fact, I was surprised, shocked. I didn't think a mere journey of someone who starts off as the weakest character seeing his character development would be fun to watch. But little did I know that not only would it be fun watching him grow, but exhilarating, exciting, addicting, and most of all, beyond thrilling. The pleasure derived from simply reading this manhwa was something I just can't make up. It was one of those very few manhwa that I just had to keep on reading and couldn't get enough of. The plot just keeps getting better and better, and the character development, well, oh baby, don't even get me started on that. And if that isn't convincing enough, the art style is perhaps arguably top 3 of all manhwa that exist. I mean, you can't go wrong with this art. Vibrant colors, a vibrant world, and even vibrant characters. Speaking of vibrant characters, the amount of ships this manhwa holds is, well, amazing. You see, something this manhwa does very well for an anime centered around its main character's development is hype. The way Solo Leveling builds hype around its main character is partially due to the superb ranking system. You see, the ranking system consists of different ranks from E to S, E being the worst and S being the best. We are also later introduced to national level as well. With this perfectly crafted ranking system, the manhwa is able to build hype around the main character, as the ranking system does a good job reflecting this hype, and the author is also effortlessly able to introduce new characters in a very seamless manner, to which flows so well and complements the hype around the main character leveling up. An example of this would be how the S-rank hunter, Ryuju Goto, sorry if I mispronounced that, is shown. He is shown as this boss, right? Someone who outclasses all the other S-class hunters, someone who other people are scared to fight, and with this, it sparks intrigue into the viewers. We are left wondering, how strong is our main character compared to this guy? And this is just one example. The manhwa does a really good job introducing higher ranked characters with endless strength in order to provoke intrigue in where our main character stands in comparison. Back to Ryuju Goto. Right after the author creates a sense of intrigue for the viewers, we then proceed to get exactly what we want: a battle between our main character and Ryuju Goto. In the first battle, we are given an unclear idea of how Sung Jin-woo, our main character, compares to this guy. However, it becomes apparent later on when Ryuju Goto destroyed by the same ant that our main character took care of mid-difficulty, that Sung Jin-woo is on a whole different level. And it's this notion of seeing the main character go from being the weakest to perhaps the strongest in his verse, one of the best feelings when reading this webtoon. Overall, it's definitely quite the manhwa, and I gotta give props to the author for being able to craft such a piece of art that doesn't necessarily lack in any aspects. Now, as far as season 2 goes, I haven't read the light novel, so I wouldn't know if it's good or not. However, from talking to people who have, it has become clear to me that season 2 could be just as good as season 1 when it comes out, or perhaps even better. And this news doesn't really surprise me, as the way the plot is set up, the whole idea behind the manhwa itself has so much depth it can cover. I mean, we still have yet to see his dad in the picture, we still have yet to see how he compares to national level hunters, and we still have yet to see these ships come to fruition. I mean, overall, there's still a lot that can be added to this manhwa, and I just simply love that. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, make sure to smash that subscribe button if you're new, and if you're not, well, drop a like, and make sure you read Solo Leveling if you haven't already read it. You know, I'm definitely looking forward to season 2. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be real good. Well, I guess till then, see ya.